Okay, students, we continue our concepts. The last concept was concerned with indefinite integrals. Now, we shall deal another very important concept, what it is called as definite integrals. Now, we start the concept of definite integrals. Heading right, definite integrals. And we are in now class number 24. You first observe its concept, then we have problems related to this concept. See, so far what we have taken for integration, integration of function without giving importance for whether function is continuous or discontinuous. So we not tested whether given function is continuous in a given interval or not, or whether given function is well defined or not, without giving more importance for nature of function, whether it is continuous or discontinuous. We have found integration of such a function. For example, when we consider integration of 1 by x minus 2, its answer was found as log of x minus 2. But you observe that what the function we have means 1 by x minus 2. This function defined for all the values of x except for x equal to 2. But that importance not given. Understood that x is not equal to 2, hence integration of 1 by x minus 2 will become log of x minus 2. Similarly, when we consider integration of cosec square x, answer is found as minus of cot x, and actually we know that cosec 0 will be undefined. So that conditions we not taken into account. This function defined for all the values of x except x equal to 0. As good as the function cosec square x is continuous except for n x not equal to 0, n pi, etc. So without giving importance for nature of function, whether it is defined or continuous or not continuous, we calculated integration of function. But in the coming problems, it's not like that. We are going to consider only that function which is continuous or well defined on a given interval. Only such functions are considered under definite integrals. Let's define definite integrals in this manner. See, let f of x be the continuous function defined on the interval ab. Means value of function real number for all the values of x in the interval ab. As good as the function is continuous for all the values of x in between a and b, whatever they arrive. Suppose f of x is continuous function defined on the interval ab, then integration of such a function under the restriction of the interval, integration of function under the restriction of interval or under the condition of interval, that is called as by the name definite integral. Means integration of given function f of x under the restriction or under the validity or under the condition of the interval a comma b, it is called by the name definite integral, and that is being written as integration x equal to a to x equal to b f of x dx, or it is just written as integration a to b f of x dx. So hereafter you may write x equal to a to x equal to b, or just a to b. Understood that it is from x equal to a to x equal to b. This is what the representation or way of denoting the definite integral. Further, in this definite integral a and b, they are understandably most number of times real numbers. Sometimes they can be infinity also, but most number of times a and b are real numbers. Here a and b are called as boundary values of definite integration, or a and b also called as limits of integration. Limits, another word for boundary. In particular, a is called as lower limit. A called by the name lower limit, whereas b is called as upper limit. A is called as lower limit or lower boundary value. B is called as upper limit or upper boundary value. And it is quite obvious that on the interval AB, always A is less than B. Since A is less than B, meaning is that in a definite integral, always lower limit is lesser than upper limit. In other words, upper limit is greater than lower limit. So this is what the definition of definite integral stands. You can write. Let f of x be continuous function. Let f of x be the continuous function defined on the interval AB, I mean open interval, defined on the interval a comma b. Full stop. The integral of f of x, the integral of f of x under the restriction or under the consideration, under consideration of interval a comma b is called as definite integral. Is called as definite integral. Is called as definite integral and denoted by, as good as written as, and denoted by integration x equal to a to x equal to b f of x dx, or integration a to b f of x dx. Next slide. Here a comma b are called as, here a comma b are called as boundary values. Boundary values or limits. A comma b are called as boundary values or limits of definite integral. DI stands for the meaning definite integral. A comma b are called as boundary values or limits of definite integral. Further, means after this, further a is called as lower limit and b is called as upper limit. So A is LL means lower limit, B is UL means upper limit. And it is quite obvious that A is less than B or B is greater than A. Also, A is less than B. What's the meaning of it? In a definite integral, always lower limit is lesser than upper limit, or upper limit is greater than lower limit. So this is all about the definition of definite integral. Now let us see how we can evaluate, how we can extract, how we can obtain, how we can find the value of a definite integral. Next slide. Evaluation of definite integrals. Evaluation of definite integrals. Evaluation of definite integrals. See, already in the topic indefinite integrals, we have seen that we know that integration of f of x dx is equal to some another function. That another function depends on this actual given function. If it is sin x, answer is minus cos x. If f of x is tan x, answer is log secant x. If f of x is cos x, answer is sin x. If f of x is sec x, log of sec x plus tan x, etc. But in general, it is equal to capital f of x plus c. This is indefinite integrals. But now, at present, we are with definite integrals. Hence, now, integration x equal to a to x equal to b, f of x dx equals to integration a to b, f of x dx. No doubt its answer is f of x plus c. But one should not forget that we are with the limits. One has to make use of these limits. These limits are used in this manner. All this entire expression we have to evaluate under the restrictions of lower limit and upper limit. And write in the bracket below x equal to a, above the symbol x equal to b. First, in the result of integration, put upper limit for x. Means wherever x is there, put it as b. That is equal to f of b plus c. Then write minus sign. This is way of evaluation of definite integrals. First, in the function, that is the result of integration, put x equal to upper limit b, introduce minus sign. Then in the same result of integration, put x equal to lower limit, that is x equal to a. Capital f of a plus c. Let's simplify it. On simplifying, f of b plus c minus f of a minus c. Now in the process, c minus c will cancel out, leaving out f of b minus f of a. So how, like this, we are going to evaluate definite integral. So now, integration a to b, f of x dx equal to, answer of integration at x equal to b minus answer of integration at x equal to a. And observe, f of a real number, f of b real number, means both f of b, f of a are themselves real number, and summable difference of two real numbers is again a real number. Since f of b minus f of a is a fixed real number, that's why we are going to call such integrations as definite integrals. The word definite because f of b minus f of a is a definite real number. Observe once again, we consider integration of f of x, that is equal to capital F of x plus c. Observe, small f input, capital F output, means small f function undergoing for integration, capital F the result of integration. For instance, if small f is cos, your answer is sin. If small f is cot, answer is log of sin x, like that. Then integration a to b f of x dx evaluated as, first in the result of integration put x equal to upper limit, then write minus sign. In the same result of integration put x equal to lower limit and simplify. After simplification, c will cancel out, leaving out f of b minus f of a, which is a fixed real number or definite real number. That's why we are going to assign a name here as definite integrals. And observe, very important point, in case of indefinite integrals, we require to add constant c. And here, even if we added constant c, because of that working process or because of way of evaluation of definite integrals, c is cancelled out. That means now onwards means when we concern with definite integrals, integration constant not necessary to add. If you want, you can add, but if you add, no problem, because of process c will get cancelled. So keep in mind, now onwards, in case of definite integrals, integration constant c not necessary to add. And further, very important point, integration a to b f of x dx equal to f of b minus f of a, but this is never equal to f of b minus a. It is f of b minus f of a, means answer of integration at upper limit minus answer of integration at lower limit, but that is never equal to answer of integration with upper minus lower limit. It is entirely different from f of b minus f of a. We have seen some important points before we start problems on this. You write important points on definite integrals. Important points are key points. First point, integration a to b f of x dx equals to f of b minus f of a, and that can be described as result of integration at x equal to b, means upper limit, minus result of integration at x equal to a. That means value of integration at upper limit minus value of integration at lower limit. Second point, integration a to b f of x dx equal to f of b minus f of a, but not equals to, means never equals to maybe in very few cases, but most number of times it is not equal to f of b minus a. That is second point. Third point. In case of definite integrals, in case of definite integrals, in case of definite integrals, the integration constant the integration constant c even if we add, it will cancel out because of that process of plus minus. Now, the way of evaluation of the definite integrals exactly same as way of evaluation of indefinite integrals. Meaning is that now we may come across with the type 1, type 2, type 3 up to type 8. Now we come across with any type of problem. So there is no change in method. So way of evaluation of definite integrals exactly similar to definite. The only extra work is that substitution of limits. Putting the limits is only extra work. Remaining way of solving is as in case of indefinite integrals. Right. Evaluation of definite integrals. Evaluation of definite integrals is exactly same as in case of indefinite integrals. But only extra work is that limits provided must be substituted properly or used. That means in the coming hours we may meet with type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4, type 5, type 6, type 7, type 8. Any problem we are going to concern in the future coming minutes. There is no change in method. Extra work is that substitution of limits. And for instance, suppose we have this log x. Think that log x is result after integration with limits x equal to 3 to x equal to, first put upper limit minus, then lower limit, means log 4 minus log 3. Log 4 minus log 3 can be written as log of 4 by 3. It is just like f of b minus f of a. But this is never equal to f of b minus a. It is log of 4 by 3. This is not at all equals to, never equals to log of 4 minus 3. And what is actually 4 minus 3? 4 minus 3 is 1. And further, what is log 1? Log 1 is 0. That will be meaningless. So it is f of b minus f of a, but never equal to f of b minus a. No more going back. As already told, since f of b minus f of a fixed real number, that's why such integrals are called as definite integrals. Since f of b minus f of a is a fixed real number, is a fixed real number, therefore integration a to b f of x dx is called as definite integral. Now see this example. Say for example, you want to evaluate integration x equal to 1 to x equal to 2 x cubed dx. Observe, way of evaluation of integration do not change, it remains same. Let I equal to integration, that is integration 1 to 3 x cubed dx. As usual, in case of earlier classes we have done, what is integration of x cubed? X power 4 by 4, now also same answer, x power 4 by 4, limits x equal to 1 to x equal to 3. Actually, I said that you need not add constancy, but let's add. We'll come to know why we should not add constancy. And the limits x equal to 1 and x equal to 3. First, in the result of integration, put x equal to 3. In the meantime, 1 by 4 can be kept as outside. 1 by 4. That's total multiply. Put x equal to 3. 3 power 4 plus c minus. Then put x equal to 1. 1 power 4 plus c. That is equal to 1 by 4. What is 3 to the power of 4? 3 cube 27. 3 power 4 will be 81. Minus 1 power 4 is 1. And c with minus and becomes minus c. C minus c cancels. 81 minus 1 is 80. It is 80 divided by 4. And what is 80 by 4? It is 20. Observe, 20. Is it definite value or indefinite value? It's a definite real number. That's why the name is definite integrals. And one more observation to be here, you have to make that c has been cancelled out. So again I am telling, in the future coming problems, that is in case of definite integrals, constancy should not be added. Even if we add, it will cancel out because of its evaluation of process with plus and minus. This is something like our determinant evaluation. Recall, second order determinant evaluation, it is given by A, B, C, D. And what's the procedure? First, product of leading diagonal minus then product of non-leading diagonal, that is AD minus BC. Quite analogous way, we are having evaluation of definite integrals. As another example you see here, suppose you want to find integration 0 to pi by 3, 0 to pi by 3 sine 2x dx. No change in way of evaluation. Very first, what is integration of sine? Minus cos with by 2 minus cos of 2x divided by 2, limits 0 to pi by 3. But don't add c. Whenever limits are there, don't add c. When limits are not there, compulsorily add c. Minus 1 by 2. Upper limit, put x equal to pi by 3. Wherever x is there, replace it by pi by 3 without changing function pattern. What is function pattern? Cos of 2x. What we get? Cos of 2 pi by 3 minus lower limit x equal to 0 means it becomes cos of 2 into 0 means 0 minus 1 by 2. Recall from previous first year, cos of 2 pi by 3 means cos of 120 degree value is minus 1 by 2 because 120 degree comes in second quadrant. In second quadrant, cos function is always minus, whereas cos 0 is 1. LCM 2, 2 into 1, 2. Total minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. Minus 1 by 2 into minus 3 by 2, that becomes 3 by 4. And observe, 3 by 4 means 0.75. Is it a fixed real number or not fixed? It's a fixed real number. That's why our name is, this particular topic name is definite integral. Definite means value is definite real number. I hope you got the idea about this concept. Now we work problems, and one more thing, already told, we are going to solve any type of problem. We may come across type 2, we may come across type 5 suddenly, type 8 should not worry. For a certain directives are taken type 8 because already we done from type 1 to type 8 all the kinds of problem. Here all will come in mixed manner. Only thing you need to evaluate correctly under which type it belongs to. Like problems. Problems on definite integrals. Problems on definite integrals. Problems on DI means definite integrals. First problem, evaluate or find integration 0 to 1 x square plus 2x dx. Start with I as usual. Let I equal to integration is actually x equal to 0 to x equal to 1 x square plus 2x dx. Because of sum of two functions, we have to write sum of two integrations. First one, integration x equal to 0 to x equal to 1 x square dx. Second one, integration x equal to 0 to x equal to 1 2x dx. The next coming problems, I will not write x equal to x equal to understood. 0 to 1 means x equal to 0 to x equal to understood. What is integration of x square? X cube by 3. Limits x equal to 0 to x equal to 1. Plus Integration of 2x is x square. Limits x equal to 0 to x equal to 1. First, use upper limit minus, then use lower limit, but 1 by 3 is total common. So 1 by 3 can be kept out of the limits substitution. Put x equal to 1 cube. Minus put x equal to 0. Don't change function pattern. What is function pattern? Cube of x. Only value you replace. 0 cube plus upper limit put x equal to 1 square. Lower limit put x equal to 0 square. Simplify it. 1 by 3 into bracket 1 cube 1 0 cube 0 1 cube 1 square 1 0 square 0 total 1 by 3 plus 1 LCM 3 into 1 3 plus 1 is 4 divided by 3 is the final answer. Now another very important point to be kept in mind that because of some earlier problems, large number of problems we have done, because of that habit, suddenly our mind will react towards adding constancy. But warning, don't add constancy because we are with definite integral. If you don't have limits, definitely must add constancy. Because of limits, don't add constancy. Next problem. Find or evaluate. And these are all not new problems, old problems, no new method, old method. Extra work is at limits. That's the only extra. Remaining is as usual. Evaluate integration 0 to 1. X to the power 2 by 3 plus x to the power of 5 by 4 dx. Start with I. Let I equal to integration 0 to 1 x to the power 2 by 3 plus x to the power 5 by 4 dx. We break the integration. First one, integration 0 to 1 x to the power 2 by 3 dx. Second one, integration 0 to 1 x to the power 5 by 4 dx. Now using the formula, which formula? Integration of x power n formula is x power n plus 1 divided by n plus 1, understandably n not equal to minus 1. Here n 2 by 3, here n 5 by 4. I equals to x to the power 2 by 3 plus 1 divided by 2 by 3 plus 1. Only thing, don't add constancy. Don't add constancy, but don't forget limits. Forget C, but don't forget limits. Under limits, x equal to 0 to x equal to 1. Plus, similarly, integration of x power 5 by 4, x power 5 by 4 plus 1 divided by 5 by 4 plus 1. Limits, x equal to 0 to x equal to 1. By 3 plus 1 become 5 by 3. This is 1 divided by 5 by 3 means as good as 3 by 5. 3 by 5 x power 5 by 3 limits 0 to 1 means x equal to 0 to x equal to 1. 4 into 1 4, 4 this is 1 by 9 by 5 means 4 by 9 plus 4 divided by 9 into x to the power 9 by 4 limits x equal to 0 to x equal to 1. Now substituting limits, that is equal to 3 by 5 into bracket. Upper limit, put x equal to 1. What it become? 1 power 5 by 3. But 1 power 5 by 3 will be 1. Minus 0 power 5 by 3. Plus 4 by 9 into bracket. Put x equal to 1. 1 power 9 by 4. Minus 1 power with 0 power 9 by 4. 3 by 5 into 1 power any real number is 1. 0 power any non-zero number is 0. Plus 4 by 9. 1 power 9 by 4 is 1. 0 power 9 by 4 is 0. That means it is 3 by 5 plus 4 by 9. LCM of 9 and 5 is 45. Here into 9, here into 5. So 3 into 9 plus 4 into 5. 3 into 9, 27. 4 into 5, 20. Total 47 by 45. That's the final simplified answer. And again I am giving warning because of habit suddenly for the mind comes at to add plus c. Don't add plus c. Don't forget for indefinite. Don't add for the definite integrals constants. Hope you are understanding the things. Next problem. Find or evaluate. Evaluate integration 1 to 2. Lower limit 1, upper limit 2. 1 divided by x plus 1 whole cubed. And you may have small doubt, sir, this function not defined for x equal to minus 1. No doubt, not defined for x equal to minus 1. But look at the interval. What is the interval? 1 to 2. And in the interval 1 to 2, we never get the number minus 1. That's why it's definitely well-defined function or continuous function. Start with I. Let I equal. We shall transfer this term at numerator, that is integration 1 to 2x plus 1 to the power of minus 3. Integration of x plus 1 to the power of minus 3 is x plus 1 to the power of minus 3 plus 1 divided by minus 3 plus 1. That is x plus 1 to the power of minus 2 divided by minus 2. Limits x equal to 1 to x equal to 2. Putting limits. At the same time, minus 2 can be kept completely out of the limits calculation. Minus 1 by 2. Put x equal to 2. Only for x put, not for other quantities. 2 plus 1 to the power minus 2. This is all calculation in upper limit. Minus. So calculate same expression under lower limit. Lower limit is 1. 1 plus 1 to the power of minus 2. Minus 1 by 2 into 2 plus 1 is 3. raised to minus 2, 1 plus 1 is 2, that to the power of minus 2, minus 1 by 2. By laws of indices, what's a raised to minus k? 1 by a raised to k. This is 1 by 3 square minus 1 by 2 square. Minus 1 by 2 into 1 by 9 minus 1 by 4. Because 3 square 9, 2 square 4. That is equal to minus 1 by 2 into LCM of 9 and 4 is 36. 4 into 1, 9 into 1. 4 minus 9 minus 5 into minus plus 2 into 36 72. Total answer 5 divided by 72. Because double of 36 is 72, or else half of 72 is 36. If this problem, suppose given as minus 2 to plus 2, then this could have been not evaluated because this function not defined. It is an unbounded function as good as this continuous function for x equal to minus 1. Because of 1 to 2, 100% can be evaluated. Next question. Maybe fourth problem is find or evaluate. Evaluate integration 0 to pi. 0 to pi sin 3x dx. Take I. Let I equal to integration 0 to pi sin 3x dx. It's a very direct integration. What is integration of sin 3x? Minus 1 by 3 cos 3x. Limits x equal to 0 to x equal to pi. Minus 1 by 3 upper limit put x equal to pi, which become cos 3 pi, minus lower limit put x equal to 0, which become cos 0. And we know that from PUC first year trigonometry, cos odd pi minus 1, cos even pi plus 1, cos 0 is 1. Since cos of odd integer of pi is always minus 1, cos of even integer pi is always plus 1, whereas sin of odd pi or even pi always 0 and cos 0 is 1. That is equal to minus 1 by 3 into bracket minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 minus 2 into minus plus 2 divided by 3 is the final answer. But don't add plus c. I am just pointing it very frequently for your mind because of habit of earlier hours. It will suddenly come to mind that we have to add c. Don't add c for definite, but don't forget for indefinite. Next problem. Find or evaluate. Evaluate integration pi by 6 to pi by 3 secant square x dx. Start with I. Let I equal to integration pi by 6 to pi by 3 secant square x dx. But integration of secant square x having directly formula. What is integration of secant square x? Tan x. Limits x equal to pi by 6 to x equal to pi by 3. As good as 30 degree to 60 degree. I equals to, put x equal to pi by 3, result will be tan of pi by 3 minus, that's the rule. Put x equal to pi by 6, result will be tan of pi by 6. Fine. From standard tables of trigonometry, what is tan pi by 3? Root 3. What is tan pi by 6? 1 by root 3. If you want to take LCM, LCM is root 3 into root 3 square minus 1. Root 3 square is 3. 3 minus 1 by root 3, that is by root 3, as well as 2 divided by root 3. So we continue further questions in the next class. Thank you. I hope you got this concept very correct. Thank you very much.